Okay. The guys asked me to read this. Caution. The ESRB warns that viewing this show is equal to 29 orgasms. Here they are, Dizzaster Gaming.
Your very own Tommy Dizzaster. And of
And
course,
Rhino Rancor.
that's right. So, I know we haven't been here in a while. I know you guys missed us. I know it. I know it. How couldn't you miss these two gentlemen? Spaz is MIA right now. He's got some things going on. Personally, we're not going to get into that. But
I mean, you can touch into that a little bit because there's a congratulations to go out for Spaz because he had a kid. That's why he's not here tonight.
That's right. So congratulations.
Yeah. Congratulations, Spaz. We know you wanted to be here tonight. But,
unfortunately, you couldn't make it.
Yep. Certain things take priority, and without a doubt, that is one of them.
Absolutely, absolutely. But we know we've been gone for quite some time, and what better way to initiate a new video than to explain to you guys some of our future plans, some goals that we have that we want to try to achieve. And then, of course, we're going to talk about the infamous, most popular game that's out as of right now, which is Destiny.
What is our destiny to talk about Destiny?
It's our destiny. It is completely our destiny. But let's just dive into some of our future goals, or some of the direction we want to go in with Dizzaster Gaming. And I would say one of them is being a little bit diverse, or more diverse than other, let's say, YouTube channels or what have you, social media, Facebook, whatever it is. We're trying to be a little bit more diverse, and when we say diverse, we mean more of a community base as well.
We don't want to limit ourselves to one thing. We certainly don't want to get caught with a hand in a cookie jar by any means, but we don't want to get stuck in the. When you come watch us, we don't want you to be like, oh, they're just reviewers, or oh, they're just this or just that. We want to do a little bit of everything, get in touch with everybody. I mean, if you got something to say, we want to hear it. If you got a problem, we want to hear it. We want to try to fix it with you, things of that nature. We're always trying to improve.
Yes, whether it's something with let's say you're having a problem with Blizzard and their servers or something like that, and you've tried your best to get a hold of them, and nothing's happening. You can always come to us, and we'll try our hardest to get in contact with them and let them know, hey, we've had a few friends having issues with so on and so forth, and see if we can get you an answer. Things of that nature. And then also, we're trying to weed out all the fanboys and the trolls of the internet and social media, and we're trying to find other gamers that are level-headed and are gamers practically. They're not, someone that's biased towards another one. Now, may they have a preference? Absolutely. If you have a preference, by all means, it's your preference. But if you're someone that's going to come in and say, Microsoft's the best and that's it, and it's the best because I said so, then we don't really want to have you part of this. Sorry.
If you come in and you say something like that, like if you come in and look at me and say, oh, Microsoft's better, okay, I'm all ears. Let's listen to this, but why? Don't come in and be like, hey, it's I said this and that's it.
Yeah, don't be a dick or a douchebag about it. Don't come in and pretty much try to put brand new drapes up, so to speak. You know what I mean? Don't come in and be like, Microsoft is better because I like them, and that's all enough reason for me. Sony sucks because I say so. PC sucks because I say so. Because then you're obviously going to be weeded out. Because we're not trying to cater to that towards that. We're not catering towards that crowd. You know what I mean? Now, if you have opinions, obviously, everyone has opinions. But keep it keep it gaming and keep it as opinionated as possible, and be respectful. That's our goal. We're trying to ban the people that are level-headed and like to game for gaming. They like to have fun. They spend their money just like we spend our money. We're not trying to get into console war or take sides. We're not like that. We're not the type of gamers, and that's what we're trying to keep.
And as far as our community goes, part of that is, anytime we get online, me personally, I don't like to go into any game chat because 99% of the people I run into are either trolls or fanboys or squeakers, for lack of a better term. So with our community, we're trying to bring the best of the players together. So if you come into Dizzaster Gaming, you see another Dizzaster Gaming person, you can play with them and know right off the bat you're gonna have a good time.
And exactly, and it's not. It doesn't. We're not trying to just broad it, locally. If there's someone out in California that's interested, and we feel that it'd be a great fit for this, then absolutely. You see them over there. Oh, hey, what's going on? Get to know one another, is what I mean. And I think there's a stigma with online gaming to where people don't like to be social, even though it's a social thing that you're doing. You know what I mean? I don't know if you feel the same way, Rhino, but I feel like when people go into games or things like that, they don't like to be social. They don't like to talk to new people. And I'm guilty of doing that prior. You know what I mean?
I have a theory on that, actually, and I don't know, you might agree or disagree with me, but most of the people you look at as being social on the consoles, they're either A, really young, or B, somebody older that's just started playing. Now, when you look at somebody like me and you who started gaming, like we started on the Nintendos and the PlayStations when there was no multiplayer social aspect to it, we got used to playing by ourselves. So that's what we're used to doing. So being social, you got to kind of transition over a little bit. But,
right.
Yeah, we bring them people out of their shells, though. You got a good time going on.
That's right. That's all right. And that's all you need. It's not like you're gonna meet people in the real. You know what I mean? And hey, you might actually want to do that. You guys might want to, hang out if you guys know that you're close in the area, or what have you. But the point of the whole thing is we want to try to put a community together of actual gamers who are gonna game and have fun. You know what I mean?
Yep. And true story about that, I just met we were playing Destiny, we picked up a random. We played through the whole raid, well, most of the raid. We couldn't beat the final boss, but we played through the raid with him, and come to find out, he is not only in the same county as us, but he's about 12 minutes up the road. So I mean, that's pretty cool. I can go up and get a pizza off him.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we're trying to do. But another thing is we want to shoot for like a long-term thing is we want to get to a point that where we're comfortable enough to be able to give prizes away. So whether that be video games, posters, lanyards, possibly, we want to do shirts, hats, things like that. We just want to be able to do this stuff for our fans, for our friends. That way they feel a part of something that can be solid in the gaming community, because I feel, just like we were talking earlier, Rhino, there's a lot of negativity when it comes to video games.
Absolutely. I mean, soon as you become a gamer, first thing you have to deal with is the people that are outside of the gaming community all of a sudden look down on you. They think that you're wasting your life, you're wasting your money, you're wasting your time, and that's simply not the case for most people. And then on the other side of it, while we're trying to weed out the trolls and all them, you get on the game, and the way they troll you and all that, it makes you feel like you're wasting your time, your money. And so, yeah, that's our goal as far as taking the negativity out. When you get on the game, you want to have a good time, unwind, and we want to make it easier for that to happen.
Exactly. And we can't do that without, of course, our viewers, our fans, people that are associated with Dizzaster Gaming. The biggest part, obviously. If without anyone watching or anyone even taking notice, there would be no Dizzaster Gaming. There would be no plans, nothing like this. And we were talking about doing a Kickstarter just actually before we fired this up. And maybe we have something like that in the future, but who knows what the future holds. So as of right now, there's talks of it, but we don't really have anything planned at this moment in time. But, of course, we can always broaden our horizon, and you never really know.
Yeah, I mean, another long-term goal for us is to be able to go to the cons. Hopefully I can probably use my my E3 or my photography to get me and Tommy some press passes for E3 and sneak into that shit.
Yeah, and then it broadens from there. You know, if we can get to a point to where we can go to events like E3 or Comic-Con, you know, we can then, you know, link up with people that are, you know, actors if possible. You know, people that needs headshots or models even. We can be a part of that. You know what I mean? In the whole gaming community, and when I say gaming community, I mean gaming industry as a whole. You know, there's just so many possibilities, and we just can't do any of it without viewers, without a following. That's why we appreciate everyone that's viewing us, everyone that gives feedback, all of that. We definitely appreciate it. But we just wanted to let everyone know a little bit about some of our future goals, whether that's short term or whether that's long term. We want to do a lot of different things as well with the channel. I know we've all pretty much put up gameplay videos, whether it was a Twitch stream or you know, a commentary over something. I know, Ryan, you put up a news video before. So I mean, we were trying to do our best to be diverse. And you know, one of the big reasons why we were on this little hiatus is because we've pretty much been, you know, doing what our name is, which is gaming.
Yeah, I mean, we all anticipated Destiny for a long time, and basically, you know, in anticipation for Destiny, we started gaming together hardcore before it come out to prepare for it.
Mm-hmm.
And once it did come out, all hell just broke loose. I mean,
yeah, it kind of stole everyone's balls, and I mean, I feel that it still has a firm grasp on them. But I mean, we'll just jump right into the Destiny talk. What do we want to start out with, Rhino? Because there's so many different talking points that we can start off with.
I mean, I'll throw this out right off the bat. There's a love-hate with Destiny. I love to hate it. I mean,
and I think a lot of people do.
Yeah, I mean, it delivered on a lot of things, and then it did not deliver on even more things, in my opinion. But we'll jump into what it got right. And for me, what it got right was the gameplay mechanics. You know, a lot of people say it feels a lot like Halo. I didn't play Halo. I didn't like Halo. But, you know, as far as the gunplay, it's spot on. I have no problems with it whatsoever. But,
yeah, I can definitely agree. I think they nailed the gameplay mechanics. When it, you know, whether it's firing your weapon, throwing grenades, being on your vehicle, you know, whatever it is, they've pretty much nailed the mechanics pretty well.
And the maps aren't bad as well. I mean, you got good mechanics to run through good maps, and the graphics and designs, what the hell's the word I'm looking for? I just fucking went blank-minded. The scenery. Come on, help me out here, man. You're gonna leave me hanging here.
The scenery. What is it like?
The views you get, like when you're in a tower.
The backdrops and all that.
Yes, the backdrops.
The environment and everything.
Absolutely gorgeous. That is definitely.
I guess you could chalk that up as presentation.
Yeah, to me that would be the number one thing they got right, followed by the gameplay, the gun action, the gunplay, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I got you. I'm right there with you. But I mean, being an Advent Halo player, it does feel a lot like Halo. And I said this from the beta, it feels a lot like Halo. You know, when you throw in a new grenade, it's pretty much identical. If it wasn't a change in scenery, you would never be able to tell a difference, I feel anyways. But, yeah, I mean, and I've told you this before, Rhino, I think this generation is going to be focused a lot on the environments, the backdrops, because, I mean, there's a few games that's come out for next gen that's really emphasized that. So, I could be wrong, I hope I'm wrong, but I just feel that way.
I mean, when you get into that, you start to sacrifice some of your other key stuff, such as gameplay, story, things like that. So there's definitely a balance they got to fulfill. But with what we've thrown out about Destiny already, it basically puts us on the top of the hill, and there's nowhere else to go but down.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And we can start off with the story or lack thereof, because there's practically nothing there. Nothing in terms of keeping someone or someone that's looking for a storyline in gaming, there's nothing there to keep them sticking around to play the game anymore. There's pretty much if you're coming to Destiny looking for story, you're wasting your time, because at the end of the game, for me, I know for Rhino, for Spaz, I don't know so much for Spaz, but it's a complete letdown. You can definitely tell that this game is going to be heavily DLC induced, and
there was a couple promises made when the game was getting ready to come out. One of which was that it was going to be open world free roam, which we was all excited for, and the other one was that it was going to have a good, rich story. Well, there is no roam about it whatsoever. It is the most linear game I have ever played in my life.
yes. Now, granted, is it big? Absolutely. But when you think big open spaces, which is obviously not the case. If anyone had played Destiny before, that is not the case at all. Like you said, Rhino, it's linear. Go here, go there. You can't go over here. All that beautiful landscape over there, yeah, it's beautiful, but you can't go there. You can't go see it.
As far as open world, nobody ever touched Skyrim, because Skyrim was, if you could see it, you could go there.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's at a scale like that, it's not going to touch that. As far as story, for me, anyways, it felt like Activision had a big part in this. It felt like that they got their hands in to the story of Bungie and decided to rip it out pretty much. And the way it's looking like, oh, we're going to charge you for the story. We're going to charge you to tell you what this Traveler thing is, or what the voice of the Traveler is, or who the Queen is. And it feels like they had their hands dirty into that.
That takes you into another problem altogether, which is the Grimoire cards. But
oh my goodness.
Yeah, before we even get into that, one of the problems with the story is the same mission over and over and over and over and over and over. And that mission is, you go here, you let your ghost scan, you fight a couple waves of enemies, you go here, you let your ghost scan, you fight a couple waves of enemies, rinse and repeat.
Yeah, it's pretty much horde mode.
Yeah. Now, I mean, as far as the actual story goes, if you want any extra information, if you want to know what the Traveler's about, what the enemies are about, what weapons they're carrying, why they're carrying their weapons, you collect in the game what's called Grimoire cards, and the only way to read those is to go on Bungie.net, which, if you're anybody, is a waste of time for you.
If you're anyone that's played Destiny, you have not done this.
I have read a couple. That's how I know that there's legitimate information on them. But that's not how I want my story in the game presented to me.
Yeah, the problem was it wasn't marketed that way either. It wasn't marketed as there's a great story here, but we're gonna integrate our app and our website, and this is where you're gonna find out most of the story. Never once did anyone say that or market it that way. Otherwise, no one would have been overhyped or very in anticipation for this game and went out and bought it. No one would have done that. So that's when I say that I feel Activision had a lot to do with the ripping out of the story. I mean, it's obvious, isn't it? I mean, you can't really tell me that Bungie, the company that made Halo, everyone knows how good the Halo story is, and still is. You cannot tell me that they went from that and completely dropped the ball because of their own doing. It had to have been someone else.
And that goes back to the Grimoire cards. If you actually read the Grimoire cards, and I've talked to people who have, the story is there, and it's a good story. It's all laid out for you right there. But somebody ripped it out of the game, put it on them cards, and threw it up on the website. And I would imagine that if you're the guy that created that story, the whole storyline and everything, and you're proud of it and everything, and finally they bend you over, take a dildo, write Destiny on it, and shove it up your ass, you're pretty pissed off that they did that. Because, I mean, like I said, it's a good story, but you have to go on Bungie.net to read it.
Yeah, so basically, at retail value, spending your $63 after taxes or what have you, you're getting a game and you have an expectation of you're going to get a good story told to you, but it's not. And you're led to believe that it is. It's marketed as this is a great story, great gameplay, all this. And in most cases it is, but the story is completely ripped out. It's obvious. Anyone who has ever gamed can tell that this is completely obvious. And what's even more insulting is the fact that when you went and bought your game, whether it was midnight release or the next day, what's more insulting is there's a season pass that you can pre-order, which the first one drops in December as of right now from what I know, and then the next one's early 2015. That tells you right there there's a problem.
And that leads into two other problems. Cutscenes. There are very few cutscenes in the game, and the ones that are there are only there to lead you into DLC, to prep the DLC. That is the only sole purpose of them cutscenes being in the game.
Yeah, and what's even more infuriating is you go through that experience, okay? But then a few weeks later, you see an article on a website that talks about, someone had their hands on Destiny back in early 2013, and it was a completely different game in terms of who the characters were and how they related to one another. Completely different. Now, how did it go from that to what we have now?
I'll tell you something else I found out. The story has been fucked with so much that the Queen's brother
wasn't even supposed to be.
No, he was supposed to be there, but he does not have a name. They never bothered to give him the name. If you look in the Grimoire cards, he is literally listed in there as Queen's brother.
Oh my goodness.
They couldn't even give him a name. Or if they did give him a name, because I believe I read somewhere at one point they removed it from him, or they just didn't put it in there.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I remember something where I read was the Queen's brother actually was called the Crow, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're right.
But then he got ripped from that title, and it was given to the Hunter chick. Spoiler alert. Chick that you encounter.
Oh, damn, I didn't know that.
Story.
I didn't even know that, asshole.
If she's even a hunter.
That's going to be DLC too. You ruined the whole DLC section for me right there, man.
You know what? One of the red flags that really got me when we were playing the game was that I think one of the first cutscenes you encounter. I think it might have been like the third or fourth cutscene into the game. You first encounter this chick and you talk to her. She literally, there's lines in the game. She literally says, I don't have enough time to tell you why I don't have enough time to tell you about what's going on.
Yeah, that was a pretty frustrating line. I'm not gonna lie.
Like, what do you mean? I don't like. There's honestly no reason for me to play Destiny at all. There's nothing keeping me there. There's these missions that they put out every so often. There was Queen's missions, which are bounty-based.
But the problem with the Queen's missions were they were the same fucking missions over again. Just you were supposed to kill a specific person during that mission.
If that. The thing is, I'm right there with you, Rhino. It's rinse and repeat. It's rinse and repeat. There's nothing new. When they do these new, what do I want to say? These new events or whatnot, nothing changes. The only thing that changes is the reward that you get, that you have to kill yourself on getting. You have to grind so hard to get these rewards.
And even the vendors, like Xur, Agent of the Nine, who only shows up 3 days out of the week, or 2 days out of the week, something like that, only on the weekends. He carries the same inventory, just rotated week to week. You might get this one week. If you miss it, well, just wait 2 weeks. It'll show up again. It's the same stuff over and over.
Yeah, I think we've encountered him in a few different occasions, and I think his inventory has only changed one time. He carried something first time I encountered him, and then a few different times I've encountered him. He carried a completely refreshed inventory.
I will say that this week is actually had a new weapon in it, but the armors were the same. Because I bought a Titan helmet, and it just so happens it's the same Titan helmet that one of my buddies is currently wearing.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but that leads you into another problem, which is the loot system. I might buy this helmet today for 23 strange coins, which are a bitch to get. And then somebody turns around, goes out in the field, gets an engram, and boom, they got the same helmet.
Yeah, and I think I was talking to you and Spaz and everyone there that that we regularly play with. That's part of the Dizzaster Gaming. That I really had to stop and think for a minute at some of the weapons that I found, because the game is pretty much luck. It has nothing to do with your skill. You can be the worst player in the game and you will be rewarded with a bunch of shit. That's another thing. Real quick, I want to stick in. You can be on the top of the list of a multiplayer game or a strike or what have you, and you most of the time will get zero, and I mean zero, reward. Meanwhile, someone who may have got 5 kills and 23 deaths got revived 56 times. They get a shitload of stuff.
There is actually a YouTube video that's supposed to be a tutorial on how to earn exotic weapons in the Crucible. And step 1 is play Crucible. Step 2 is be shit. And they show all kinds of game clips of the worst person on the team with the negative KD getting the legendary and exotic items.
And how does that even work, Bungie? How does that even make your game legible? Who would want to play that? No one, I can tell you that. No one likes your loot system at all. Not only is it too random, you get bullshit for loot, for one. Okay, but back to that. I was looking into some of the weapons that I found or got rewarded with, luckily. 2 of the weapons were primary weapons. One was an auto rifle, one was a scout rifle. And I'm using this auto rifle for a while. I get it almost leveled all the way up, and I stopped, and I looked at the name, and I'm thinking, I'm going to look this gun up and see if you can get it anywhere else. Well, turns out that you can actually get this gun through, who is it, Rhino? Crucible?
I thought you said it was Dead Orbit.
No, it's Crucible, the one that's Grim Citizen. That one is that's a Crucible. So if you guys aren't familiar with it, basically, when you run the Crucible, which is multiplayer, you earn reputation. And to get this gun, you have to be rank 3, which is a bitch to get on any of the factions that's there. Okay? So you can either grind fast through this reputation to get this gun, or you can be lucky like me and just happen to get it. That's what happened to me. I got lucky enough to get this gun, and it's pretty badass. But then I started realizing, wait a minute. Do you really have to rep grind to get these decent guns in the game? I mean, really, what is the point if you can get these items in a different way? Granted, I mean, it's a long shot, but doesn't that defeat the whole purpose of getting reputation with these factions? And then another thing, Rhino, was the Dead Orbit. You were right about that. I got a sniper rifle through Dead Orbit just by random loot.
Yeah.
Even though I was ranking them up to get an auto rifle, I still got a sniper rifle through them, through random loot.
And what made it even worse, even though they fixed this as of late, but they had a color system for your engrams or your weapons. White's the lowest, green's the next, then blue, then purple, then yellow. And you would pick up an engram, which is what they call a plan for a weapon or an armor. It would be
schematic.
Yeah, it would be purple. So you take it to the Cryptarch to
thinking that you're gonna get a purple.
Right, and then you get a fucking green. And that was a major problem, because I was seeing where people would turn in, over 100 engrams a day, and 90 of them would be greens, and maybe the other 10 would be blues, and they wouldn't get no purple. But every engram they turned in was purple. Now, lately they fixed it, so if you turn in a purple, it's going to be a purple or higher. Still a pain
in most cases, yeah. Yeah, but that's one of the things. Loot system is complete fucking trash and needs to be fixed. Can it be fixed? I don't know.
Now our buddy there, Tommy, the samurai, he's talking about another piece of shit that you have to grind for, which is the currencies. He's specifically talking about the motes of light. He said he has 75 motes of light, and he's only bought 3 capes with it.
Holy shit, he's got 75? I'm lucky to keep 20 in my inventory.
I think I have 21 right now.
That is another thing. What is with all these fucking currencies? There's no reason to have all these currencies. Oh, you got Vanguard marks, you got Crucible marks. Why couldn't you just, put these things together?
Yeah,
The reason why I'm saying why couldn't you put these things together, because obviously still there's million people that are playing this game on both consoles. Xbox One, even 360. It's on 360, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 360, PS3, and PS4. There's millions of people still playing this game, and it's because it's so addicting. The gameplay is so good, that's why you're keeping these people playing the game. But that doesn't make it a good game. It doesn't fix any of the problems that you have. And there's no reason to have all these currencies. It just confuses shit. Most people it doesn't appeal to most people. The masses that you guys wanted to get your game across to, they don't care about currencies. They get a strange coin, they're like a strange coin, and their reaction is, "Oh, I don't know what that is, but all right, cool, I got that. Let's go to a control match now. Let's not do Rumble." That's their mentality because it's on consoles.
And another problem with the currency is that I lost my train of thought.
Currencies, motes of light, they're very rare to get. It's hard to get. Most of the time, you're only going to get them whenever you level up, which is completely confusing as well to just your average gamer.
That's where I was going. For the amount of different currencies that they have on there, they are way too fucking hard to get. Motes of light.
Few and far between.
Motes of light you get by earning experience after you've hit level 20, which is their soft cap, because they have a soft cap and a hard cap if you've never played it. But after you hit level 20, you continue to gain experience, and you get a mote of light every time you're supposed to level up. Other than that, you can get them through Crucible reward, or if you turn in
completely random.
Yeah, completely random. And like Tommy said, we're barely lucky to have 20 or 23 or 25, because a lot of the stuff costs 25 motes of light. We're lucky to have those, and that's grinding to get those.
And another thing that I found out that's a problem with the motes of light. They're awesome, okay? A mote of light, you're like, holy shit, I got a mote of light. But I found out that they are pointless to even collect. That's most likely why Needy has 75 of them. What are you going to buy that benefits you or gives you any type of stat boost or anything like that? Nothing. You might be able to buy something off Xur to get an exotic weapon, or sometimes it's armor or whatnot, but you can only have one exotic piece of armor on at a time. So really, what are you spending motes of light on for? Why am I getting this currency?
And I honestly believe, and if somebody from Bungie sees this, I hope that you can take this into consideration if it's not your plan already. I'm thinking that when they do raise the cap, and they have to raise the cap within the 10 years, and if I think it has to be soon, but when they do raise the cap, I think by doing that, they're going to allow you to have more exotics equipped.
Yeah.
And I even believe that eventually, at some point, they're going to need to create something even rarer than the exotic, or more powerful than the exotic.
I agree. I mean, I've said this from the first week we started playing it. I can see their goal. I can see what they're trying to go for long term. I see the foundation there. It's just everything on top of that is just complete bullshit. And if they really expect this game to run 10 years, then they've really got a big problem on their hands. Because given the bitter taste that Destiny is leaving in people's mouths, I wouldn't see people continue playing this game by the end of the year as heavy as they are now. And one of the reasons being is there's really no other games out there that are multiplayer based. No one gives a fuck about Call of Duty Ghost. Battlefield 4 is starting to fall off now as popular as it is. The new Call of Duty's coming out in November. We got Sunset Overdrive coming out for the Xbox One, which is going to be multiplayer based as well. With the single-player campaign and everything. But you get the picture. You get my drift. Right now, when that came out, there was really nothing. There's no variety. But now games are being released from now to the end of the year. You have Forza Horizon 2 out now.
I can promise you
Drive Club.
that next month, because I believe it's next month, because I'm pretty sure it's always November when Call of Duty comes out.
Uh-huh.
I can promise you when Call of Duty drops that is going to light a fire under Bungie's ass, because Call of Duty is going to draw a shit ton of people away from Destiny over to Call of Duty. There is no stopping it. Even if Destiny was the game it was supposed to be, it was not stopping the people going over to Call of Duty.
No, not at all.
And that number is going to be even more increased now because of all the problems that this game's having. So I'm hoping that lights the fire under Bungie's ass.
But it could be just too late. It might even be too late right now, because the way they're building their game is you have to have 1 to 3 player fire teams, and if you want to do higher level, like level 28, difficulty, you can't run in and solo that shit. So if the majority of the player base that you have now leaves your game and does not come back, then guess what? You are completely fucked long term.
Tom, we got two little comments going over here in the Q&A box over here.
Well, let me peep it out.
First one, we got Ange. He says he enjoys the game when it's hard. If he's doing the weekly nightfall, or unless he's doing the weekly nightfall, he's bored, but the reward is barely worth it, or rarely worth it.
I don't see anything here. I think you're the only one that can see that, Rhino.
Yeah. Which, he's got a point. You do this fucking hard ass shit, and the reward they give you is crap.
Lackluster. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I mean, I could go. Me, you, and Ange can be running. Okay, me, you, and Needy can be running a 3-man fire team. Okay, and I could be ripping ass from beginning to the end of it. I could be the top player, and there's a very, very, very good chance that I'm not going to get anything, to where you guys have a way better chance of getting, engrams or even possibly legendary items if it's set on a higher difficulty, which is complete bullshit.
I've even seen a game clip where there's guys that beat the Vault of Glass, and everybody got a exotic weapon except for one guy got a Motor Light.
Yeah, and I think he was the top guy. I've seen the same thing you did. He's like, fuck this, Bungie. This is ridiculous. And I was the top player. And it's bullshit. I mean, if you're at least going to do that, make it fair. If you're not going to reward people by how good they are and how, what the skill base is, then give them, something. Give them loot. Don't give them motes of light, completely useless currency.
Yeah, that's the same thing with the fucking Ascendant shards and the Ascendant energy to level your weapons up. Why are they so fucking hard to get? Yeah.
Yeah, and you can only get them from what? Weekly strikes and...
I get a lot of mine from the world events that are popping up.
World events, which is, few and far between, in my opinion anyways. But, I mean, there's so much about this game that I want to like, but it's just one thing after another, after another, after another. It just makes me not even want to play this game anymore, or at least take a huge break from it. I mean, I thought this game was going to really keep me there and keep me interested, but it's almost like a Call of Duty feel where I'm playing this because everyone else is playing it, and I kind of like how the game plays, but then there are times where I fucking hate it and I don't want to touch it and I put it down and I play something else. It's like you said, Rhino, it's a love-hate thing. Mm-hmm. I love to hate this game, or I hate to love this game.
And that's what it is, and it's going to drive people away. And I said we had 2 things over here in the box, and the second one here was we got a guy named David over here saying Call of Duty, yeah, and he wants to play Call of Duty, but he doesn't have a system. Well, I can tell you, if Destiny keeps going the way it's going, as much as I'm saying I'm not getting the new Call of Duty because it's rinse and repeat, if Destiny's going to treat me like Call of Duty, David, you're going to see me on there with you when you get on. Because I can't take this shit, man.
I'm right there with you, Ryan. Everyone's like that. Everyone says, I'm not going to get the next Call of Duty because it looks shitty and it's the same game and blah, blah, blah. But what happens is we all end up getting it anyway because there's something about Call of Duty that is addicting. It might be the trailers, how they're presented, I don't know. But once you see that, remember, Rhino, when I was like, fuck Call of Duty, I ain't getting that shit. There's no. It's the same shit. I seen that release trailer multiplayer, and I was like, oh, I think I'm gonna get Call of Duty again.
See, that's the thing. The shit that they do to multiplayer, and I don't mean to get off topic and go in the Call of Duty by any means, but the shit they do to Call of Duty, I know it's gonna piss me off, especially with the cloaking shit in multiplayer. But they've got a solid gunplay system to it, and that's what keeps bringing me back.
Call of Duty.
Put that shit down, man.
You mad, bro?
I'm jelly.
I know. But look at this. Isn't this ironic? Destiny. Call of Duty. And little old Watch Dogs over here. Fuck Watch Dogs. Shitty ass game.
That's subliminal messaging. I was brainwashed, damn it.
These were not put there on purpose. I just have no room with my new desk that Rhino came over and helped me with.
Yeah, that I built, yeah.
That we built, bitch.
I had to teach
Anyways, there's no room to put these anywhere
maker.
now. Fuck, you know how to use a potato maker. Anyways, back to Destiny. I mean, I hate to love this game. I really hate it with every fiber in me. I hate to love this game, but something just keeps pulling me back to it. It could be maybe the addicting gameplay, and I'm just so used to Halo, and it feels like Halo to me. Maybe that's what it is, but I can tell you this: when the Master Chief Chronicles come out, oh man, I'm not gonna have no reason to play that. No reason at all.
You may or
may spend more money on the DLC. I want to spend $34, $28 on DLC to play the same missions. No, thank you.
You may or may not see me on the Master Chief Chronicles. It all depends if we're gonna go back to our voiceover work that we've done in the past. Then it'll be
man.
To me.
When we say we want to broaden the horizons and be diverse with Dizzaster Gaming,
I will try. That's all I can do. I will try because I'm so against Halo. But I did like Halo Reach. If Halo Reach is in there, I'll be all right. Yeah. But
it's not.
Yeah.
It's not only Halo 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, I figured. But our buddy Needy over there, he wants to know if we're looking forward to Assassin's Creed Unity.
Yes, I am very much looking forward to Assassin's Creed Unity. I'm so glad that they're finally integrating co-op into it, but my problem is I've always had this problem with Assassin's Creed. I'll start playing it, and then the story just kind of drops off and fades away from me, and I have no interest on finishing the game at all. That happened with Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. It happened with Assassin's Creed 3. Which I got pretty far in 3, but then it just kind of dwindled away, and there was nothing, for me to go back to. And it happened with Black Flag. It's just something about Assassin's Creed that I want to love it. I mean, I love the Assassin's Creed series, but I never finish them because there's nothing. Even though the stories are great, I never get to finish them because I don't know if it gets to a point in the story to where it just gets like kind of dull, and then I'm like, I don't really feel like playing that now, or what. But I just never finish them.
And that was like, it was the same way for me. I played 1 and 2 all the way through, and then I got to 3, and I'm like, I can't do it. And then I played Black Flag, and I couldn't beat Black Flag all the way through. But the only thing that piques my interest about Unity is the co-op. If it wasn't for the co-op, it wouldn't even be on my radar.
You know what I think another thing is it's not doing anything revolutionary. It's not changing anything. Third-person action adventure, whereas Assassin's Creed essentially is what Prince of Persia would have been. It literally took from Prince of Persia, from what was it? Not Warrior Within. What was the other one? The Two Thrones, possibly. I think was the last one. I don't know. Either way.
Sands of Time?
No, Sands of Time was the first one. I think. Yeah, the Sands of Time was the first one.
I thought Sands of Time was on GameCube.
It was on GameCube, and what was it?
I might be wrong. I could have.
I know it was the first one.
GameCube.
Well, there was Sands of Time, Warrior Within, and then Two Thrones, and there was 2 other Prince of Persia games after that. But the point is Assassin's Creed borrowed heavily from the Prince of Persia series. It pretty much, once they what was it? The new consoles, 360 and PS3, when they came out, that was a new IP that Ubisoft was going for, and they pretty much killed practically the Prince of Persia series in place of Assassin's Creed. But at that point, it did something different. It revolutionized that. Being vertical, climbing up, buildings and all that. but that's all it did, and that's all it's continuing to do now. And I think that might be another thing that I have a problem with that I never realized until right now, actually, that it's not bringing anything new to the table. It's just like Call of Duty. It's becoming the same game with possibly a better story, but I don't know because I never finished it.
Yeah, he just Needy popped up again and said he likes the story. It keeps him going until he beats it. He gets lost in the game. He said his son's halfway through it now. And you know, the first one had a good story. It kept me interested. The second one had a good story. It kept me interested. By the time I got to the third one, all I could do is sit there and think, I've already done this twice.
Yeah, I mean, it's always the same thing. Assassins, there's the Assassins Guild, and then there's the, well, is it Illuminati or whoever, and they're fighting amongst one another, and
all the Templars.
They continue to fight, and that's pretty much it. I mean, there's no resolution, there's no climactic ending that ends the story and builds off to another. It's the same story that's never been, you know, that's never met any kind of ending. It's just the same thing with different people.
Even if you follow the theory that Watch Dogs was the continuation of in the future of Assassin's Creed, you still have no ending. It's if you look at Watch Dogs, it's still the same fight continuing.
Yeah, and I know they tried to. Go ahead.
I was saying it's still the same fight, just new faces and modern weapons.
Yeah, and it didn't add anything new besides, you know, hacking, but honestly, how revolutionary was that?
Well, what is hacking other than a different way of going into the Animus, really?
Yeah, practically. But even then, I did hear that they were trying to like meld them together or whatnot. It's not as obvious as everyone may think, but even then the story was like bland. Like your main character you play as, like how was he even a main character compared to people, you know, previous games that had awesome main characters? Master Chief, Altair, fucking Kratos from God of War. Like, how does he stack up against them? He doesn't.
The only character in Watch Dogs that even kept my attention was the gothic hacker chick. I can't remember her name, but the only reason she kept my attention.
You don't even remember her name.
Yeah, I was staring at her tits the whole time. So I mean.
So the number one character that kept your interest, you don't even remember. Nope. How bad is that?
I couldn't even tell you.
Horrible.
I couldn't even tell you the main character's name from Watch Dogs at this point.
And you know what? Off topic, real quick. I just want to talk about Ubisoft. I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but I just heard about the crew being delayed, and I'm starting now to see there's a trend with Ubisoft, or Ubisoft, however you want to say it. Almost every game they put out, they delay. There's something wrong there. What was delayed? Watch Dogs was delayed for a very long time.
I think the Division was delayed, wasn't it?
The Division delayed, exactly. Now, like the three biggest titles that they've been marketing since E3 of when I think the consoles were first announced have been delayed.
Needy popped up. He said, I see your point that the game is the same, but the story goes on, and yeah, it's a way to drag something out till it's dead and buried, but it's like a good book series because it's still got promise.
Yeah, but it's told like. My problem is how it's executed. It may have a great story, and I know it has a great story, but it's how it's executed. And it's in gaming, so it's going to be harder to tell that story and keep people drawn in. And one of the biggest reasons why people want to actually play Unity is because finally they're factoring in or incorporating co-op. If they didn't have co-op, I would have no interest in this game. I would just be like, oh, cool, another Assassin's Creed game. I might gamefly it.
And I honestly think Brotherhood would have been the game to put co-op in there.
That would have been the best game.
Yep.
That's when they started put a competitive multiplayer, I think, into it, which was perfect for integrating co-op, but they didn't do it.
I tell you what,
instead they waited two other games.
That multiplayer was good because it was so different than what you was used to playing.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the multiplayer on that. for what it was for that game.
Yeah.
I wouldn't buy Unity just to get that game, that multiplayer.
So
But
if they took co-op out of Unity, would you be interested in it still?
absolutely not. It wouldn't even be on my radar. In fact, the only reason I want Unity is to play it with my friends. I could care at this point. I could care less about the story. I don't even know what's going on with
Me either.
Desmond or any of them.
Spoiler alert! Right now, if you don't want to know, click off the video. Desmond died.
I kind of figured that, but I didn't want to say it.
I said spoiler alert. He's
Well,
dead, and how they did it was completely. They kind of brushed his death to a side, even though every game before that, it was heavy emphasized on his story. Desmond's story is very important. He's modern. He's the one we're connecting to, and they just kind of brush his death under the rug and just like, oh, it's not that important. It's whatever.
Yep.
Like
And,
what the fuck? What the fuck are you doing, Ubisoft?
Needy said, as far as Watchdog goes, it didn't have enough story to it, and he's absolutely right. I beat that game in no time flat.
Oh, it does now with its DLC,
Which conveniently come out a couple months after I traded it in. Thanks, Ubisoft.
See what I mean? Like, it's consoles, and these companies, I don't know why they have not got a grasp on this yet. People, they eat up entertainment. They consume entertainment very quickly. So, like Destiny, I don't feel that people are going to buy the DLC when it comes out because, A, it's not going to be worth it, and B, people are already glitching the game to find out what the DLC is, and it clearly shows that there's nothing changing. It's the same missions we're doing now. That's the DLC. Oh man, Destiny is just not what I expected to be, and I'm glad that I didn't overhype it, and I'm glad I didn't have this great expectation about Destiny because I'm not let down as much, but I kind of am. Because even though I may not have had a certain expectation, I thought it would be better and it would be more than what it actually is.
It's still a giant letdown. Even if you didn't build up your expectations, by the time launch come around and you was in line at the midnight release and all that, your expectations was built up whether you wanted to or not.
So well, yeah, you had it at a certain. It was built up to a certain degree from what they were marketing. Absolutely. Yeah, if you guys have not seen this YouTube video, check it out. Just go type in Destiny Honest Trailer, and that pretty much sums up everything accurately, 100% about Destiny. That's pretty much it. But let's move on to the matchmaking. We kind of got off track there for a little bit.
I was going to say, we didn't even touch on the multiplayer for it yet.
Yeah, we didn't even mess with matchmaking, which is a fucking disaster. No pun intended.
Matchmaking is supposed to be, it doesn't matter what your level is, when you go in, it has a balancing system. So you can
real quick, before we get too deep into this, let's cover the social aspect of this game, because they push that too. Oh, it's going to be a very open world social experience. One, they don't even have game chat if you're not in the fire team. You can't, you can see 17 people on your map. You can't talk to any one of them unless they're in your fire team. So you have to invite random people into your fire team to talk to them, for one. For two, you can't trade in the fucking game. How are you going to have an MMO FPS type game and not be able to interact with any of these players other than inspecting them and inviting them to a fire team? Now,
they are talking... or not talking, it's going to happen. But there is an update that's going to allow trading to some degree. I'm not positive, but there's a catch in there somewhere. I know there's a catch. But there's going to be some form of trading, and they're going to put in, you can change your hairstyle and things like that, because they feel like people aren't using their glimmer like they should, which I don't blame people. There's nothing to use it on. But
there's so many currencies. Who even uses Glimmer anymore?
Right, and that they're doing the update, but it's not coming out till December. How many trade-ins do you think are going to happen between now and December, especially with all the new games coming out that people's going to want?
Oh, so many. I mean, I don't think they're anticipating this, actually. I really don't. I think they honestly think that people are going to play this game, religiously.
And they probably assume that, GameStop, when I picked up my disc, and they got real serious with me. They're like, you need this disc for the next 10 years. No, I don't. I don't need
Yeah,
it for the next year.
yeah, I don't need this. No. But I mean, like you were saying, Glimmer. There can Bungie themselves see the problem that no one's spending their Glimmer. Why is no one spending their Glimmer? Well, geniuses, maybe you should have anticipated this. Once you hit level 20 and you start getting your light levels, you no longer need the currency of a Glimmer practically.
The only useful thing to spend your Glimmer on is ammo synthesis. And I've already proven that if you're good at Destiny, you don't need ammo synthesis because there's plenty of ammo that hits the ground.
Yeah, even with the one skull activated, where you don't refill your ammo, you just switch your weapon, and then the ammo that you were just using for the weapon you switched starts dropping. It's not that hard to figure out. There's literally nothing to spend Glimmer on. Even when you're upgrading your items, whether it's weapon or your armor, it's only like maybe 500 Glimmer that you need. Meanwhile, you have 17,000 sitting there.
The amount of Glimmer you earn versus the amount of Glimmer you spend on upgrades, not even close. Not even close. But
And they put a cap on it, 25,000 Glimmer. And they have things that drop off your enemies that help you gain more Glimmer, but you don't even need them once you hit level 20. You are going to start gaining Glimmer out the wazoo.
They give you Glimmer in abundance, which you don't fucking need. And then the currencies that you do need, the strange coins and motes of light, you got to get down on your knees and suck Bungie off to just get one.
To get one. And now they do have things you can purchase, like some shaders in the game, your basic shaders, and you have some ships that you can buy and vehicles, which are speeders practically. But who needs 5 speeders, for one? For two, even if you wanted to buy all the speeders, let's say, for example, you don't even have the room to keep them stored because there's a bank. There's a bank that's integrated into the game, but you only have, I think, 20 slots in each category.
Not only that, they're all repeat. They're rinse and repeat. If you look at the ships, there's only 3 ships in Destiny, and they're all different colors. There's 3 ships. And what really pisses me off is I had a ship in the beta. They called it the Taxi. Big, square, honking motherfucker. And I cannot get that ship to save my life in the game, and I have not seen anybody with it, and it looks like they removed it from the game entirely.
Unless they're going to use that as DLC.
Which is bullshit.
Which wouldn't surprise me. And it's Activision, so who else owns Activision? Or who does Activision publish games for? Let me think. Oh, that's right. Call of Duty. And what have Call of Duty been doing lately? Microtransactions. Yep. So it doesn't surprise me if you start seeing ships, guns, speeders, anything like that start being released as microtransactions. Oh, you want this cool ship? Well, you've had 3 different ship schematic drops, and you've got the same ship all 3 times, but if you want a different one, pay us another $5 and you get an awesome one that everyone else is going to buy because there's not enough stuff in the game to separate yourself. So everyone's going to be buying this.
If they open up microtransactions and you spend hard-earned cash out of your pocket, cash money, on a fucking ship in Destiny,
which has no use,
you deserve to get kicked in the balls or whatever you have, because that is just stupidity at its max, and you're just feeding into the machine that's broke anyway.
You're feeding into the problem with gaming nowadays, and it's not good. But anyways, let's go into the the matchmaking finally.
You was about to get me on my rant for the next video. I gotta save it.
Yeah, let's not do that. But let's get into the matchmaking. You were heading into something before I cut you off.
Yeah, I was just giving the rundown, basically, before we start ripping it apart, what it's supposed to be. But matchmaking is, it's supposed to have a equalization system, I guess you call it, or a level playing field, where
balancing system.
Yeah, balancing system, where your armor is not more overpowered than this armor. So essentially, somebody that's a level 5 can take on a 28 and have a fair chance of killing each other, which I can honestly say, for the most part, has worked. And
decently.
Yeah, and there was my complaints at the beginning about it not working until Iron Banner came out. Once Iron Banner come out, and then I really noticed how much that balancing act comes into effect, because Iron Banner is pure shit.
Yeah,
And
and if you're not sure what Iron Banner is, which I'm sure everyone is watching knows what it is, it's a game mode that completely does not restrict any level advantages. So if you have exotic, a badass exotic weapon, or and some badass exotic gear, then you're gonna be raping kids.
and Ange is messaging me again. He says, Iron Banner is pure shit. I get paired with a level 6 and 10, and he's destroying them, and he still loses. I think he messaged me one night. He said he was 29 kills, and I can't remember how many deaths. And the next person on his team had 11 kills, and the person after that had 10, and he was still losing, which is unreal. If you're going
And this is
ham,
a
egg, and
problem.
cheese.
This is a problem. Why do I say that? Is because they have rewards through the Iron Banner vendor, and you have to get a certain rep rank to buy this cool stuff. And this is actually some cool stuff that they put in. But since the system's completely random, and the only way that you can get reputation through the Iron Banner is by winning or doing bounties, which no one wants to grind bounties, is by winning in Crucible matches, then you're going to be fighting a very, very, very long battle to get a lot of this cool stuff that it has to offer,
And that's
which is complete bullshit.
I think me and you, Tom, we played for what, 2 hours one night?
2 hours. I think we won, what, 3 times?
Yeah, and you can't rank up at all without winning. So because the rest of my team sucks, we have to suffer. We can't do shit.
Right. I mean, the only way you can earn it is by winning in Crucible or doing bounties, which most of them are Crucible-based. But even if there's one that's not, even if it's like, let's say, patrol missions on Venus or whatnot, now what that's doing is forcing myself and forcing Rhino to leave Crucible, even though we want to play that, to go grind out bounties because we want to increase our rep. Now tell me, how does that even make sense, for one? For two, how the hell is that fair? I can understand level advantage. By all means, go right ahead. But if you're going to do that, then reward the players that are lower level as well that lose the match. Because now I'm being punished because I'm higher level, and then the other 5 people on my team are lower level than me. But I'm being punished because I'm higher level and I'm losing. Because I'm busting my ass to win this match, but because I lose because everyone else, now I just practically wasted my time with this match because I didn't get rewarded with any kind of reputation.
Yeah, and Ann's just said, there's nothing worth it to get from the Iron Banner to even do this. And if you want to get it, you need the team. And I can tell you that the team is not out there. And guys, while I got your ear, if you're going to play in the Iron Banner, if you're going to play anything that's not team deathmatch, it has an objective, play the fucking objective. It is not about kills if you're playing control. Go to the fucking point and catch it. I can't stress that enough. That is why we lose 9 times out of 10, is because our team wants to play for kills in an objective-based game.
Yeah, I agree with you. 100%. I'll have 7 fucking captures, be the top on the team with like 13 kills. Meanwhile, there's someone with 21 kills with 2 captures. Like, get out of the game mode. You're obviously not playing that game mode to play that game mode. You're playing a different game mode in that game mode, if that makes sense.
If you need kills, there's a rumble mode, there's a clash mode, which is essentially free-for-all and team deathmatch. They're there.
Or skirmish.
No plan. Or skirmish, yeah. But don't come in to fucking capture the flag, which is control, or no, domination, I'm sorry, and try to get kills. You're just fucking pissing everybody else off on the team. Which, you know, for a lot of you guys, it's a good thing that there's no game chat right now, because Tom would be ripping you guys a new one.
Oh. Really, when they call me Tommy Rage Quit, it's bad. This is the only other game, multiplayer-wise, that I've played that gets me as hot as this game does. Call of Duty has been the only game so far that when I'm playing multiplayer, I rage because I know that I'm a great player, and someone beats me is because of lag or some bullshit like that. But Destiny is number 2 on my list. Right now, currently number 1 on my list because it's complete bullshit. And if there was a game chat, oh man, you people would be reamed out
And
thoroughly.
Ann's just sent me a message saying nobody plays the objective. And I know we've already said that, but the reason Ann's saying it actually means something is because Ann's is basically our PlayStation 4 person that gives us all the information from PlayStation 4 since neither one of us have one. And that's telling you that it's not just on our console. It's across both consoles that this shit's happening.
So when you see slogans where it says the best games are played on certain amount of consoles or the best players are on this console, that's bullshit because you get shitty players at whatever console you're on. It's just that simple. There's no getting away from the shitty players. Unless, of course, you're part of Dizzaster Gaming.
The more you play with us, the harder we get.
That's we do what Nintendo don't. To get this good, it would take Sega ages.
Jump in.
To a pool. Anyways, we were looking at slogans for previous consoles, so that's what it's a little bit's coming out. Anyways, multiplayer on there, as addicting as it is, they just make some bad choices. I mean, Iron Banner for one is probably the worst decision they've ever made.
Yeah, and that upsets me a bit because when Iron Banner was in the beta, it was fun. I enjoyed Iron Banner more than everything else. So I was excited when Iron Banner opened up for us to play the event for, as it is right now. And then, my first match in there, I went in and I destroyed. I mean, I was killing people left and right. And then it popped up and said, you lose. And I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell happened here?
Not me.
Downhill from there.
First match I popped up, I played in it. Oh man, rage quit really came out in full effect. I text Rhino, I was like, fuck Iron Banner, because I got destroyed. And no, it wasn't even necessarily just me. It was really, the team as a whole got destroyed, but I was getting robbed badly.
Yeah, that game mode is really where your exotics and your shit like that comes into play.
Pretty much where all the douchebags are gonna be.
Yeah, that your trolls will go where trolls will go.
Mm-hmm.
And
trolls go under that shitty bridge, and Iron Banner, unfortunately, is that shitty bridge. Which is cool.
Until something else
I got one shader. Right. I got one shader. I'd like to have the other shader, but I don't just see myself, playing it that much to be able to get that second shader, so I might even just leave the Iron Banner alone. There's nothing really else that I want to get there.
I wish you could preview a shader, then I know right off the bat whether or not it would even.
I want to waste my time.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be pretty nice.
I'll tell you what, the best shaders I've gotten so far has all been random luck drops like Blood Pact and Achilles and Beowulf and things like that.
What was that one I got? I can't remember. No, fuck Gilgamesh. I've got Gilgamesh, Bungie. If anyone in the staff of Bungie is ever watching this, I've got Gilgamesh 4 times. 4. I don't need it 4 times, okay? And if I do, let me dismantle it and get something out of the shitty loot drop instead of just deleting it.
Oh, here you go. Here's 18 Glimmer.
Yeah, here's 18 Glimmer that you're not going to spend. There you go. That's a useless currency now. Oh my, I don't know. It's just stupid. But you are right. It seems like the best shader drops have come from random drops. There's one that's like Thunder something.
There was a red one you guys was looking at that somebody had in town, and I can't remember the name of it.
I can't either. It's pretty cool. There's what's some of the better ones? What's the one that you want that what's the one that you have that I want? It's like that.
I thought that was Blood Pact.
Yes, that's what it is. Blood Pact. That's one that I honestly really want to get. But I got this one that's like gray. I can't remember, Thunder something. And then there's one that's called Chatter White, which is like a completely white one. I want to get that as well. But
Apparently,
Yeah.
James sent me a message, said his buddy got one called God of War. That's
That's
red
the
and
red one.
black. Yeah.
That's that red one. Yeah, God of War.
And he said he got Achilles 4 times in a day in the Crucible, which I
See what I mean?
completely believe.
Gilgamesh and I think Achilles are the most average drops. I've got Gilgamesh 4 times. Achilles I think I have twice. But there's ones that you can get through codes, and you can put in on Bungie's website. What was it, Oracle 99 Rhino? That's one of them. It's like a yellow and blue.
Yeah, and if you're friends with us, if you go into our gaming group on Facebook, Dizzaster Gaming, we have them codes up. If you don't have them shaders and you want them,
Yeah, absolutely.
there's shaders and emblems and grimoire cards if you want to know what the story's about.
If you want to know what the story, don't play the game. Go to the website.
No, I'll just open up my Bungie.net for you. You can get the whole 9 yards right there.
You won't even have to purchase the game.
I'll save you $63 and some change.
Yeah. But was there anything else we needed to cover on Destiny?
Let's see. We did Deluxe Story. We did Crucible, multiplayer, currencies, loot drops, DLC. I think we pretty much done ripped it a new asshole.
Which I think it deserved. And I'm really hoping that Bungie sees this. I mean, if anyone's watching that wants that Bungie to see this, I mean, send a link to them. You know, share the video when it's up on their Twitter page or wherever. Make sure they see this. Yeah, at Bungie. Just make sure they see this.
And message Oracle 99 and Banshee, and them are the 2 shaders you get from the codes that we have up. Which Oracle 99 is like a yellow, it's pretty cool, and Banshee is a deep blue.
Yeah, double Banshee.
Yeah, I've run around with double Banshee for a while. I liked it.
Yeah, and as common as that one something Jester is the one like
Jester Apogee.
Yeah, that's it. You can buy that off the vendor. I've never seen that one dropped, ever. I've just seen it purchased through that vendor. I've never seen it drop.
I've never seen a purchased one drop. Any of the purchased ones drop.
Me either. That shitty, like, white and green one?
As far as drops, it's usually Achilles and Gilgamesh are the 2 main ones. I've gotten Blood Pact from a drop. I've got Lunar Elegy from a drop.
Mm-hmm.
There was another one I got, and I can't remember it, but it's not really that important.
Oh, another thing is the ghost shells. They clearly show that there's you can have different ghost shells, but where do you even get them? You can't get them right now. My only thing is must be DLC.
Microtransactions.
Yep. You have plenty of spots for speeders.
What do you need to do?
Different ones now.
What do you need a new Dinklebot for anyway? And that's another thing. The voice acting for the Dinklebot is shit.
I can tell you this. I thought the voice acting was really good besides Peter Dinklage's performance. And I understand, I mean, it has to be a robot and whatnot, but I think that's just him in general. He's just very monotone like this, and he's very monotone as an actor in pretty much every role that I've seen him in. He's very monotone. He doesn't add any kind of emotion to it. And, I mean, maybe that's what they were going for. Bad decision, in my opinion, being a consumer. But I think he just could have added something more. But really, what else do you want more when all he's really saying is, give me time to open this, kill these enemies. Oh, they don't know you're here now, but or they don't know we're here, but they do now. Kill these enemies. I mean, really, how can he put any kind of emotion into the voice acting there?
There's another thing we didn't touch on is the lack of customization.
Oh my goodness! How do we forget that?
Yeah, how did we forget that? But I remembered it now.
It's practically non-existent.
It doesn't matter what you do to your character, you're gonna look like a freak.
Or yeah, you're either gonna look weird, or you're gonna look like exactly the same player that you don't even know. Completely random player. You're gonna look like them.
Or you end up looking like Jersey Shore, like I did.
But you're not the only one. There's so many, Jersey Shores that I've seen running around that it's crazy. Another thing is body size. You can't change any of that. You can't change height. So everyone practically looks like the same exact person.
if I want to be a short, fat midget, I should be allowed to be a short, fat midget.
I think these Guardians were like the Guardians of the Galaxy, and they're just clones. That's who we're playing as. They're dead clones.
Well, I
But
mean,
we've
you're
been
going
animated as clones.
you're going into another part of the game. There's questions that are never answered. What is the Traveler? Why was I dead? How long have I been dead? Who was I before I was dead?
Why are you waking me up? Why are you bringing me back from the dead? I understand I'm a Guardian, but why are you bringing me back? There's plenty of other people out there. Why am I being brought back? Leave me to rest, motherfucker.
I'm fucking tired.
I'm tired. Another thing that confused me as well is we're all found on Earth. Whether it's exo, human, or what is the other one? Awoken.
Which is another big gap in the story. When you play as an Awoken and you're surprised to find out that there's Awoken out there and you got to go find them. Why you
exactly
fucking people, man?
I'm an Awoken right here. I play as an Awoken, and when they were telling me, oh, there's this Awoken species that's right on the outer rim, go see them. I'm like, wait a minute. That's completely confusing, for one.
Yeah,
for two, there's other Awoken players at the tower that's playing with me, so we're kind of common. Why are they being emphasized to be like untouchable? Like you can't really reach them unless you go out to this dangerous place. So that was like a fucking huge fuck up.
I did that mission today with my second character, which is an Awoken. You're almost expecting him to walk up to the queen and be like, yo, bitch, remember that day back in high school?
Right. Right.
You get this dumbfounded look on your face, like, holy shit, I'm not the only one.
Or like almost as if you're not that species.
Yeah.
Almost as like you're either a human or a exo. It's confusing. I mean, there's so many different gaps in the non-existent story that's there. Like, is the Grimoire going to tell me why the Awoken are so confused on why they're being looked at as they're not Awoken, even though my character is an Awoken species?
I'll tell you, there is some interesting stuff on them Grimoire cards. Like, one of them is if you read the Cabal cards, they can move a planet. They can grab an asteroid and destroy a planet with it by throwing it into the planet. Why the hell didn't they fucking destroy us? Why are they on Mars? How did they get to Mars when there was never anything on Mars?
Well, apparently humans were on Mars when the Traveler came, and he pretty much heightened our species to where, the technology and whatnot, and then apparently the Cabal came and destroyed us. I don't know. It's confusing. Why are all three of these species coming and trying to kill us? Not only us, but they're fighting one another as well. How does this make sense? Who are they?
The theory that we are the darkness.
Yeah. This game is literally starring Master Chief, the Covenant, there's Bruce, Cortana, the Flood. The Flood is actually what are they? Rhino, the Hive.
Yep.
Bungie can't not make Halo. This is Halo in an alternate universe. Oh my goodness. I think that was it, though. Anything else that we missed?
I think we pretty much got it all. And if we didn't, we'll lighten up on Bungie a little bit. Maybe take our hands off their throat till the next fuck up.
No, fuck that. I paid for their game. They marketed that game as something different. That's right. Without us as the consumers paying for it, they wouldn't have any kind of budget to make these games.
The amount of money they put into this game, I think somebody's pocketing shit over there, because we did not get that amount of money back out in a game, because there is no way. I don't care how good the graphics and the backgrounds are.
Million. Yeah, there's no way they spent $500 million on this game, and this is what we got for it. There's no way. You can't tell me that this is just horde mode. Go to this planet and kill these people for no apparent reason, just because we said you have to. Oh, there's no background on these people? Nope. They're just there and they're bad, because we said they're bad. All right, I
Here's
guess
what I
I
have.
got you people.
Here's what I have on the Cabal: 800 pounds and highly militarized. Thanks, that helps a lot, Nickelbutt.
Yeah, which are brutes. Oh, kill the fallen, which is coveted. You got to kill these hive now. These are like a really like crazy looking alien, which is the flood. Who do I have with me? Cortana.
Nickelbutt.
0.0. Who am I? Oh, I'm Master Chief. I got a face now, but I don't have an identity. You don't
Exactly.
know anything behind me. At least Master Chief doesn't have a face, but you know his background. He's military, super soldier, blah blah blah.
So is
He was
Captain America.
taken for this. Yeah, exactly. But with this, it's the other way around. Let's give them a face with less customization and have no background on this person. And let's not give them a background either. Yeah, that sounds sellable.
It
Bungie, you
was.
really let me down. You let me down. I think you let everyone down on this game. Was it your destiny to let everyone down? Who knows?
Oh, that joke's gonna be so played out by the time Destiny done with its run.
But let's see here. Do you plan on getting the DLC as of this moment in time?
Well, being as though I get the first two DLCs free for the season pass, I will get those. But at this point, I can't see myself spending any money on DLC.
I got you. I have no plans on getting the DLC at this moment in time. Now, my minds might change. You never know. But as of right now, I can tell you I don't plan on getting it because there's nothing that I see that it's going to add to the game for me to keep playing. It's just that simple. When Call of Duty comes out, everyone else is probably going to get Call of Duty. That's where they're going to go. And that's most likely where I'm going to go as well. At least I'll get some enjoyment out of that. And there shouldn't be, anyways, from what I'm hearing, there hasn't been anything come up about it, any kind of level advantages.
Well, I mean, you can't own an Xbox and not play Call of Duty.
That's pretty much, yeah, this is true.
You pretty much can't own a console and not play Call of Duty at least once.
I mean, if I had to give it a score, because we haven't even come up with a score system or anything, so we'll just do them individually. If I had to give a score to this game, I would probably give it a 6 out of a 10.
I'd be the same, 6 out of 10. If it wasn't for multiplayer being as fun as it is at times, it'd be less.
Yes, I would agree. I was thinking 4 without multiplayer because it's Brink, pretty much. I don't know if you ever played Brink, but that's what it is.
I
If
have
there's no multiplayer like Crucible, it's Brink. So it would be a 4 out of 10. But I'm being considerate, and I'd give it a 6 out of 10 if I had to score it.
I think that's a fair score. And when DLC comes out, we could change that score. It may go up if they fix things. It may go down if they give me the same fucking missions over and over again.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you.
Oh shit. Well, before you fall asleep on me, sir, I can tell you one game that some people are looking forward to: The Evil Within,
Which comes out today, later on.
which you can get through us for 22% off if you are interested. I will put the link for it in the description on YouTube. If you're watching on here, I have no way of really putting up the link right now, but I will put it on YouTube for everybody. 22% off. You can't beat that.
Just click on that link, go there. Who's the offer through? It's through GameFly.
I believe it's through GameFly, sir.
Do you know if what consoles it's on for?
That should be on everything.
On everything. So if it's not, just let us know. That way we can give you the right information. But as of right now, it's on everything. So if you plan on getting it for the PS4, plan on getting it for the Xbox One, just go ahead, click on the link. If you're watching this on YouTube, and then just follow the instructions there, and bickety bam, no shit stains in your undies.
I will not buy this game because I will have shit stains in my undies. But if you are a streamer, I will watch you stream your version of the game. So when I shit stain my undies, nobody can see me, and I can go change my undies.
Oh, that's another thing. Before we go, I just want to let everyone know that I have been streaming a lot lately. So if you want to check out myself when I'm streaming games, whether it's Destiny, or if it's Middle Earth Shadows of Mordor, just go to twitch.tv/Tommy Dizzaster, and I'll be streaming through there. And I put it up on my YouTube channel because I can only have one YouTube channel linked, and that's my own. But I'm sure Rhino and Spaz, they have the Dizzaster Gaming Twitch. Correct, Rhino?
Yes. Well, no, I think Spaz goes up under Diz Games. I unfortunately cannot stream because of my connection. So if you ever want to catch me playing a game, you either go to Tommy's stream or Spaz's stream. I'm usually the one they're playing with. And I know Tommy tries his best to get my voice chat into the stream as much as he can, which a lot of times poses a challenge. A lot of times, though, it's a good thing, though, because some of the shit I say can get me in trouble.
But if you ever want to play with us, obviously you see my gamer tag there. It's Tommy Knockout with a space on Xbox Live. And, of course, Ryan's is Rhino Rancor, all one word, no spaces. So you just hit us up there. Just let us know who you are, where you've seen us from. That way we just know that, okay, this isn't just some troll that's trying to fuck with us on Xbox Live. But yeah, definitely check us out. Check out that link. Follow or subscribe to our YouTube page. Just search Diz Games on YouTube. You'll find Dizzaster Gaming, and you'll see it's plain to see our logo. You'll see it there. Just subscribe to that channel. That's where a lot of the Twitch streams from Spaz will go. And if we end up doing videos on our own, like commentaries, I know Ryan does a lot of that, or anything of that nature, that's where most of them are going to be put up to on there.
If you want to join our go on Facebook, find our Facebook group, Dizzaster Gaming. We post a lot of stuff in there. You can have one-on-one conversations with us when we're on. We got our Twitter up too, which we don't update that as much as we should. That's going to change. We're going to start posting a lot more on Twitter.
Yes, we're definitely going to do our best there. I think Rhino is the only one that runs the Twitter account as of right now. I know I don't have the information or the time to run a Twitter account, but also go check out my channel as well, Tommy Dizzaster on YouTube. I do some videos on there. I haven't done any in, I think, a few weeks, just because I haven't really had the time to do anything, but I feel that I put up some funny videos. I don't know what anyone else, if you've checked my stuff out, I don't know what anyone else feels, but I do have 55 subscribers, so I'm trying to get everyone that's subscribed to me to subscribe to Dizzaster Gaming, because we do some cool stuff, and we're trying to do some cool stuff as well to change up and give some diversity as well to our channel and our brand.
Always a good thing to increase the brand.
Absolutely, absolutely. The more people we have, we wanna get as big as a following as possible. We appreciate everyone that watches us and supports Dizzaster Gaming. We definitely do.
We couldn't do it without you guys, that's for sure.
Yeah, we could, but it would be kind of pointless because no one would be watching or giving feedback. So we definitely appreciate everything that you guys do for us.
Well, I think that is it, sir. So for all you guys out there, we're going to sign off now.
All right, it's been your boy,
Rhino Rancor.
Tommy Dizzaster, signing out. Peace.